assuming that a new noise code does get passed, and that hasn't yet happened, what do each of you feel needs to be done? Because what's clear here is that there are differing opinions about what needs to happen in the new noise code. What do you think can be done to try to ensure that one gets passed, a new noise code gets passed, and that there is common ground?
You have to respond to the people who are complaining. I agree. Now, if you look at the problem with this new noise code is it's not quite ready for prime time. It's a serious attempt to address a number of serious problems. People are entitled to a good night's sleep. We generally don't question that unless they happen to move into right next door to a place that there was a bar, but that's a different issue. But if you look at the 311 noise complaint data, 56% of the number of complaints coming in under 311 concerning noise, which is the single largest complaint, are residents complaining about their fellow residents. Not about commercial establishments.
Right, not necessarily about a club.
In some boroughs like Bronx, it's 65% of all noise complaints are residents complaining about other residents.
Okay.
Yet this noise code does absolutely nothing new to address that problem. That is an area which is substantially unenforced, and it remains unenforced.
And that's the change, the biggest change.
And we're going to say, what we're saying is, don't pick on the businesses because they're fixed locations, because we're easy to find and we're easy to get money out of, and say you've done something to address the problems that people are complaining about. Go after the complaints that the people are complaining about.
Let me answer that. It is true, the noise code, by definition, because it is the Department of Environmental Protection and the police, do not deal with neighbor versus neighbor. And we would really have to address that, dealing with leases, working with landlords, working with co-op boards. So I'd have to agree that that is a serious shortcoming.
Okay.
But what the noise code does,
we're done now.
Hey,
we're in agreement.
And now, wait,
that's one point. But please go ahead, Doug.
Because now I'm going to call upon this group to assist me in that area. Because if you're living in a city, you want to cooperate. And just as I have offered to work with them and look at the sections that they find most offensive so that we can sit down and talk and try to come up with something that's reasonable to both the people that are imposed upon with the noises and the sounds that are emanating from the establishments, because to them it's sound. It is not noise. It is noise to the people who don't like it. That's the difference. I'm very willing to work with them and would like their assistance, because the code isn't just that one section. If you're going to live in the city of New York, you should be concerned about the city of New York. After all, your businesses depend upon those people coming to your businesses. You would like them to be in good enough health so they're not affected by the aircraft noise, by the railroad noise, by the traffic noise, by the construction noise, so that you can make more business. Then you're also obligated to work on those other sections of the code. And I don't think you should just be narrow enough to expect everyone to be concerned about just one section of a code in a city where you depend on those people coming to your establishment.
We agree. We met today.
Fair?
Fair enough.
Okay.
I think your show has done an excellent job in putting us together.
Okay, excellent.
But our industry is by no means, as we said, the lead issue here in the noise code. We're only 7% or so of complaints on 311. And even those complaints don't differentiate between people complaining about internal noise coming from a bar or club and people complaining about street noise because there is a bar or club on their block.
Right. Okay.
And so and if you just assign arbitrarily, 50-50, then we are really only about 3.5% to 4% of the noise complaints, within
not
residences.
A bad point. And in fact, this whole idea.
You wouldn't know that by looking at the code.
Perhaps so.
But it's only one small section, and that's what you focused on.
Then my question is,
I want to get to that question right after a break. We have to take a break right now, but we will talk much more. And obviously, there's plenty to talk about. More in just a moment when we come back.